Hi everyone, welcome to healthiermath.com. We're going to do the quiz for simplifying addition and subtraction of square roots. So for this first question, we have 7 times the square root of 3 plus 5 times the square root of 3. Now, when we add radicals, we have to look on their numbers underneath the square root. So as you can see, we have radical 3 here and we have radical 3 here. So what we would do, we're going to add their coefficients, which would be 7 and 5. So we're going to add 7 and 5 together, which will give us 12. So 7 times square root of 3, 5, give us 12. Now, we're going to keep the radical as radical 3. We do not add these numbers together. We keep them. We just keep it under the radical. We do not add them at all. So that's our answer. For our next question, we have 2 times the square root of 8 plus the square root of 2. Now, as you can see, these two numbers are not the same, but we can simplify the square root of 8. So we're going to simplify this number. Again, you can choose whichever. You can do it by perfect square factor, or you can do it by prime factors. We're going to do this by perfect square, so we're going to do 2 times the square root of 4 times 2 plus the square root of 2. Again, rewrite this. 2 square root of 4 times the square root of 2 plus the square root of 2. Take the square root of 4, again, 2 times 2, square root of 2 plus, and then simplify this to give us 4 square root of 2 plus the square root of 2. Now, looking at this, we realize that these two have square root of 2 on each term. So we're going to add these. Now we can imagine there's a 1 right here. So let me write that so you guys can see. This would just be 4 square root of 2 plus 1 square root of 2. So we're adding their coefficients only. So the answer to this would be 5 square root of 2. Again, you do not add the square roots. You keep it as it is. Now, for question number 3, we look on this to see that these two terms are not, they don't have the same number under the radical. So now we're gonna simplify them. So simplify this. So let's do this in terms of prime factors for both of them. So first let's do the square root of 10. 100, not 10. Sorry. So let's do this by prime factors. You're going to have 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. That is for the square root of 100. Now for the square root of 50, we're doing the same thing with the prime factors. You're going to have 2 times 5 times 5. Okay, so now we're going to rewrite these in sets of pairs. So have 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. And do the same thing for 50. We're going to have the square root of 2 times the square root of 5 times 5. Simplify this. Simplify this. We know there's 2 times 2 under the radical, so we know the answer is just 2. Same thing applies here. 5 times 5 under the radical, so it's just 5. So we have 2 times 5. And then over here now we're gonna keep the radical 2. So we're gonna have radical 2 times, since there's 5 times 5 under the radical, we know its answer is just 5. So it's 5 radical 2. Again, simplify. Multiply this out. You're gonna have 10 minus 5 radical 2. Now this number does not have a radical 2 beside it. So we can't do anything to this. This will be your final answer. Because this does not have a radical 2, your answer will remain as this. You cannot do anything with it. You cannot minus 5 from 10. You can't minus 2 from 10. You cannot do anything. This is your final answer.